Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Living Beyond Limits. I'm so glad you've joined us this morning. And for those of you joining us online, welcome to our service. I am Reverend Jennifer Spear, and we are a part of Centers for Spiritual Living. And so, as we begin, I invite you as we begin here to join me in reading our mission statement that's on the front of your bulletin. We are a sanctuary where people can discover and reveal the presence of God within their own being and experience their oneness with all life. Through the realization of this inner presence of love and peace, we give way to the evolutionary impulse of the divine and become a beneficial presence in the world. So that's really what we are doing here, is we are creating a sanctuary, a place where we can come where it feels welcoming and inclusive and embracing and supportive and loving and nurturing, so that we have a safe place to explore and discover our own spirituality, our own spiritual nature, who we are as divine beings, and our relationship with spirit, our connection with spirit, and with the whole of things. Because the way that we see it here is that there is only one presence that expresses itself in and through and as everything that we see in this material universe. That means then that if that one is everywhere present, we are in it, and it is in us, and we are automatically then connected to everyone and to everything, inseparably connected to everything. And so what happens then as we explore and discover who we really are at our own essence is we come to the world differently, because we awaken to the love that lives in our hearts all of the time. We awaken to the peace that is innate to our beingness. We realize that we have this connection in consciousness to wisdom and intelligence and good. And so we bring those things to the world, because once we recognize we have them, there's no other way to be. We automatically come to the world differently. And because everything is connected to everyone and everything else, not just does our being different affect the people we are in physical contact with, but it affects the whole, because everything is connected to everything else. So as we do that, we participate in our own evolution and actually in the evolution of humanity as a whole. And so I thank every single one of you for doing your part, for awakening to the best of your ability, and to be walking this path, bringing your spirit and your heart into this world so that you can be a healing presence in this world, because this world needs each and every single one of us. So thank you for that. Well, happy Hannukah, everybody. If you did not know, Hannukah starts tonight at sundown and then ends on the 22nd at nightfall. And so Hannukah really is a celebration of freedom, and particularly of religious freedom and of self-determination. It is a celebration of the miraculous expression of the infinite and the expression of light, the miracle of light. And the story is really a story about faith and trust, and what happens when we rely on spirit and partner with spirit and then do what is our part to do. So in honor of Hannukah today, the title of this message is Keeping the Light Burning. And I'm talking about the symbolism of the Hannukah story and what that means to us as metaphysicians, and what that means to us in particular today, in today's world and in our lives. And so what I'm also talking about is that the allness of spirit is ever present, that it is present in every single moment, in every single situation, all of the time. I'm talking about that our having faith in it And when we look to Spirit, how that opens a way for Spirit to flow into our lives and activates that flow of Spirit. Our looking to it, our faith in it, our openness to it. That when we do our part in partnership with that divine presence, our good is assured. And so I am certainly not a scholar in Judaism, but the Hannukah story I do know, and the story says that after years, the Jews have recaptured the Holy Temple of Jerusalem. They had taken it back from the Greeks, who had taken it from the Jews prior to that. So the pagan statues were removed, the temple was cleansed, new altars were built, and new holy vessels created. The temple had been rededicated with an intention set that this was to be a holy place. This was to be a place of honoring the one God, to be a place of prayer and a place of communion. It had been sanctified as a holy place, recognizing that that one presence was present in that holy place. And so prior to the Jews recapturing the temple, the Greeks had destroyed all of the jars of sanctified oil. Yet miraculously, one jar was found intact. But that one jar only contained enough oil to burn for one day. Yet it was the tradition to have that candle burn day and night, 24 hours a day, to signify that God was on the job all of the time, day and night, 24 hours a day. Yet the only thing is, like I said, that jar only had enough oil to burn for one day, but it was a 4-day journey to retrieve more sanctified oil. That meant 4 days out and 4 days back, so it was going to be 8 days total. But it was out of the deepest gratitude to have the temple again, out of the deepest gratitude and love of God, out of dedication, out of devotion, that they went ahead and lit that one oil lamp, that one candle. So the miracle that occurred was that one jar of oil lasted for 8 days until they returned to the temple with the newly sanctified oil to continue to burn the candle. So I think one of the things that's really important to notice in this story is that they took the first step. They didn't wait for God to do something. They took the first step in faith and in trust and in dedication. They were already anchored in a consciousness of gratitude. Can you imagine if we had not been together for years because we couldn't be together and you got to come back together after years, what gratitude you would have to be home again, to be in your place with your people again, to have a place to celebrate life, God, Spirit, whatever you call it. They were already anchored in a consciousness of gratitude, in a consciousness of love of Spirit. They were already partnering with that divine creativity, with that Holy One. Partnering with that Holy One in creating a divine union, a place to do that. They were already in a place of recognizing that one was already present, was already with them. And they had an attitude of high anticipation. And so for us today, we need to experience and to feel that presence of the Infinite One is in our lives. We have a need to know that we are always connected, one with, part of, immersed in that presence. To know that Spirit is present and active in our lives and present and active in the world. We need to know that we are partnered in our lives as we move through our lives by that infinite presence, by that creative intelligence, that peace and love and goodness. To know that that force for good partners with us through our lives. And we want to know that that presence is on our side, that it is for good. We want to know that Spirit supports us, that it supports us always. And the truth is, Spirit does always support us. Spirit supports us in our greatest happiness and our greatest fulfillment. Spirit supports that which expresses life in a greater way, that which is life-giving. The truth is, God is always, always for that which is life-giving, always for that which is expansive, always for that which reveals love and a greater expression of love. That is what Spirit supports in this world. We want to know also that things will work out, that things will work out in our own personal lives, and that things will work out in the world. We want to have faith in that. We want to have faith in the good. We want to have faith in life, faith in Spirit. And so Ernest Holmes, the founder of this philosophy, said, "There is but one activity which is perfect. Nothing has happened to it. Nothing can cut it off. It is always operating." Nothing can cut it off, but we certainly can limit our experience of it by not believing in it, by believing that there is some other power that is greater than that power of Spirit. So the problem is when we let our doubt and our fear and our worry and our concern consume our minds. Do you do that? What happens when we are consumed with doubt and fear and worry is we repel the very good from us that we want to bring into our lives. It's kind of like taking two wrong sides of a magnet and trying to put them together, how they push off of each other. We push and repel the very good from us that we seek by our unbelief, by our focus on worry and doubt and concern. When we are focused on what we don't want, which is exactly what we're doing when we are in fear and worry and concern, what happens is we can only magnify more of that. We amplify more of that. We create more of that in our lives. Ernest Holmes said, "The armor of God is faith in the good." The armor of God is faith in the good, the enduring, and the true. Against this, nothing can stand. Our consciousness focused on the good, the true, that which never changes, never moves, is always present. When we focus on trust, when we focus on the good, when we focus on the truth that there is only one power and that we are in that power, that power is in our lives, that there is no limit in potential of that power, then we open a way for that to flow into our lives. And so there's a story out of Tuesdays with Morrie that says, on this day, Morrie says that he has an exercise for us to try. We are to stand facing away from our classmates and fall backward, relying on another student to catch us. Most of us are uncomfortable with this, and we cannot let go more than a few inches before stopping ourselves. We laugh in embarrassment. Finally, one student, a thin, quiet, dark-haired girl who I notice almost always wears a bulky white fisherman's sweater, crosses her arms over her chest, closes her eyes, and leans back and does not flinch, like one of those Lipton tea commercials where the model splashes into the pool. For a moment, I am sure that she is going to thump on the floor. And at the last instant, her assigned partner grabs her head and shoulders and yanks her up harshly. "Whoa," several students yell. Some clap. Maury finally says, "You see," he says to the girl, "you closed your eyes." That was the difference. Sometimes you cannot believe what you see, you have to believe what you feel. And if you're ever going to have other people trust you, you must feel that you can trust them too, even when you're in the dark, even when you're falling. That's what's being asked of us, to trust, even when you can't see it, even when you're in the dark, even when it doesn't seem like it's going to work out. Like the Maccabees who lit the candle in the temple when they didn't have more oil coming to the newly consecrated temple, like that woman leaned back, leaned in, took a step, did her part, took a step into the unseen and the unknown, and did her part. That's what we're being asked to do. So in our recognition of the allness of spirit, that it is active, that it is present in us and all around us, what we call miracles are able to occur. Our job is to remember. Our job is to remember, like when the sun is obscured by a cloud, you can't see the sun, yet you still know that it's there. Our job is to remember the sun is still there, to remember that infinite presence is still present and active right here, right now, in this moment, in this situation. That's how we stand in faith. And because our faith and our trust and our high anticipation, because we stand in that, good can be revealed. Ernest Holmes said, "The positive thought of truth is a shield in which nothing unlike itself can stand." In Science and Mind, we learned that no thought of negation can enter a mind already filled with peace and faith. The suggestion of limitation, fear, and doubt cannot find entrance to the mental home where God is enthroned as the supreme guest. We remember that God is present. Spirit, creativity, whatever you want to call that one presence and power. When we speak the truth, when we know the truth with a capital T, it's as if God is speaking through us into creation. We become a conduit. We become an avenue. We become the way that spirit can show up in this world. We become a portal. So what's required then is that we remember, that we recall, that we stay anchored in the truth. The truth that that one is right here, right now, ever active, expressing as love, expressing as wholeness, expressing as power and creativity and wisdom and intelligence. The truth that that one power is present in every moment and in every situation as intelligence, as peace and harmony and order, as a power for good. To recognize and know and stand in faith that it is leading us and guiding us, and that it is leading and guiding humanity at the same time. The truth is, your life is the life of spirit. There is no other life to be living. That means then that that presence cannot leave you or forsake you. For to leave you or forsake you would mean that God would have to leave or abandon itself, and that is impossible. The God out there and the God in here is the same God. It can't leave you. Ernest Holmes says, faith is not a dogma, a creed, nor a statement of being. It is a certain mental approach to capital R reality. It is an affirmative approach as opposed to a negative one. It is agreement as opposed to denial. Faith is living in agreement with what you know to be the capital T truth. It's living in agreement with that. It's living in agreement with that I am presence within you, and that is everywhere present. Knowing the truth, living in agreement with that. And so I think that we are being invited in this Hannukah season to remember and to move into a place of trusting, to move into a place of faith, to be open to what we might call a miracle. Can you do that? Can you be open to what you might call a miracle in this world, the thing you can't yet see? I think we are being invited to keep in conscious agreement with the truth, that unchanging, unwavering truth, that Spirit is ever present, that Spirit is active in your life, active in the world, always in every experience, in every moment, in every situation. To know that there is always that one power that is always working toward good. And believe that your good is assured. And so I have an assignment for you each to do during this Hannukah season and during the whole holiday season and on from there if you would like to. And what my charge is for you is when you are home at night is to light a candle. To light a candle to remind you of your trust and your faith in that one. To remind you of your faith in Spirit. Because as you know, when you light a candle, what happens is every time you see it, you'll be reminded of what it was that you knew. So my invitation is for you to light a candle and to speak out loud as you light it what truth you are remembering. I am remembering that Spirit is ever present. I am remembering that love is always in every moment. I am remembering that I am the wholeness of God in form. Whatever it is that you're wanting, that peace is possible and present right here. To light a candle, to speak that truth, and let it remind you every time you look at it that night, to let it remind you of that truth. To let it remind you of the truth that you know, but that you sometimes forget in your head. Let it help you, seeing that lit candle each night, let it help you grow your faith. Let it help you keep your faith alive and keep it at the forefront of your consciousness. And every night when you light that candle, you can light it for the same thing or you can light it for something different that you're wanting to remember then. And know that just as you need Spirit in your life, Spirit needs you. Spirit needs you to be that conduit. Spirit needs you to be an open channel for it to flow into this world. And your channel is more open when you are in faith. Know that Spirit needs you to be the hands and the feet and the heart so that it might flow into this world as a blessing to everyone that you touch. So that it might bless the world by means of you. And so as you partner with Spirit, as you do your part, as you stand in faith, you'll be living then with greater faith each day. because it builds on itself. As you stand in faith and partner with Spirit, you will be acting as a conduit for Spirit to express in this world, to be a beneficial presence. You'll be living a blessed life and be a blessing for this world. And so blessings to every single one of you as you awaken to your own divine nature and that presence that wants nothing more than to express through you in its fullness. Blessings to you. And so I invite you to join me in recognizing, knowing, standing in the truth. And so we stand in that capital T truth, that God, Spirit, the infinite one, life, the universe, Yahweh, Jehovah, whatever you want to call it, is right here where we are. That it fills all of time and all of space with its beingness. And that it is the very essence of love. Love for humanity, pure love for every single thing in existence, everything that is to come into existence. It is that very vibration of love and of creativity. It is a force for good. It is that which animates all things, and it is right here, closer than our very breathing, that we live in it and that it lives in us. And so today we step out of any small thinking. We step out of fear and doubt and worry, and we step into this magnificent light of Spirit. And as we step in, we do recognize that that light fills every single thing in this world. For there is no spot where God is not. And so today we see the world through those eyes. And as we open our hearts and open our minds, we become a greater conduit for it to flow into this world. And so we open our hearts and allow the divine to flow into us and out into this world as a healing balm, as a blessing. And so I also recognize that this is not just true about us, but this is true about every single person on this planet. That Spirit is right where they are right now. That it is revealing itself as love and as peace, as unity, as this one human family connected to each other, all part of the whole. I speak this word for every single place that has experienced violence, that has experienced shootings, that has experienced loss, recognizing that the fullness of the one is right there, right now. That every person who is experiencing loss and grief right now, that the love of the divine is wrapping itself around them as comfort, revealing itself as their own wholeness that cannot be damaged or destroyed or diminished in any way. That Spirit is acting through, right now, each and every person, shifting, moving, changing things so that we are living in alignment with the one with each other, in oneness. And so I claim peace. I claim good. I claim reconciliation and awakening, knowing that there is an awakening that is happening right now. And we participate in that, and we hold that for humanity. And greater than anything is love. So we rest in the love of Spirit today, recognizing that is everywhere present. And so I release this word into that creative law of the universe, knowing that it is unfolding itself all around us right now. For not just are we open, but I know that there are millions of hearts and minds in this world that are open to this. And so we are creating a way for that to express, and it is expressing itself now. And so I release this prayer in gratitude, and I invite you to join me in saying, and so it is. And so I do have a few invitations for you as a way to participate in this family. One is next week we are having a holiday party after service, going to be at Chris and Peggy's house. There's actually a sign-up sheet in the back to bring an appetizer to share with us, and we invite you to wear your festive holiday attire, whatever that might mean for you. Also next week is our holiday candle lighting service, where we will be lighting candles in honor of 7 different religious traditions and paths. It is a very sacred and wonderful service, and I know every year people tell me how much they love it. So if you know somebody that might like to participate in something like that, I invite you to invite them to be here next week. We'll be doing Christmas carols and stuff, but we'll be honoring all these different traditions. So it feels so inclusive that I know that there are people that just really like that. Also, we are doing a World Peace Meditation on Zoom on New Year's Eve morning at 4 a.m. So put that on your calendar. It's the morning before the parties, right? New Year's Eve morning, 4 a.m. The Zoom link is on here. We will be praying with people all over the world, all at the same time, praying and holding an intention for world peace, which you might notice we need at this moment. So the more consciousness that we add to that, the collective consciousness, the more powerful it is. So we really invite you to join us for that, and to invite anyone. You don't have to leave your house. You just get out of your bed and stay in your pajamas and sit in front of your computer. So invite anybody that you know that is interested in peace in this world to participate in that with us. Our Sunday talks are available on our website and on our YouTube channel. We have prayer after church. We have prayer shawls. We have a Ministry of Prayer box. If you want to fill out a request, we'll support you during the week. And we invite you to follow us and like us on Facebook. I told you we're boosting the post, and it goes out to people that like us and people that are like them. So we're trying to build an audience right now, because that's how you advertise in today's world. And like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and check in on Meetup and say that you're coming. And so I invite you to repeat after me. Good fills my life now.
Good fills my life now.
I recognize it. I savor it. I love it. And I live it. And so it is.